Right, so with Apple's 2021 iPad releases pretty much over, let's delve into everything we should see with the 2022 iPad lineup and the upgrades we can expect. But first, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. And with that being said, let's just tuck in. Right, so beginning with the iPad that I'm sure will not see an update in 2022, that is the iPad mini, because Apple rarely updates the iPad mini. We see an update every 3 to 4 years at this point, and of course the iPad mini right now is a pretty major update and should be fine for the next few years. And so yes, do not expect a new iPad mini in 2022. Right, so let's now move on to the budget iPad, since this might supposedly get a major update with the design. So it's fair to say the budget iPad has basically retained the same design for many years. We saw a bigger screen in 2019, but apart from that, the iPad Air 1 inspired design has been largely the same. But there have been rumours that maybe Apple could be giving us a major overhaul for the iPad 10, something more in line with the higher end iPads and their bezel-less design. Now, to be honest, I'm still a little skeptical about this report, because if Apple gives that modern design to the budget iPads, then why would you buy the iPad Air 5? Now yes, I know the new Air might get a faster chip, and possibly more RAM, and maybe new colours, but that's about it. And so of course, Apple can't justify charging so much more for the iPad Air when you get basically everything that iPad offers with the iPad 10. And so yes, I do think the design we've had for many years now is going to stay with the budget iPad. But there might be some good news, because obviously a ton of reports regarding the iPad 9 were suggesting the design could be based on the iPad Pro 10.5 inch, which of course is going to offer a slightly bigger display that's laminated, and so maybe those rumours could come true with the iPad 10. Now as for the specs, it's going to be pretty minor, since of course this is the budget iPad, so of course expect a new chip. That could be the A14, and maybe expect more RAM, but that's about it. It's pretty minor changes with the budget iPad. Now the release should be September alongside the iPhone 14s, and the price should stay the same with the same storage configurations. Now moving on to the iPad Air 5, this was initially supposed to be a pretty exciting update, because there were tons of rumours regarding an OLED panel coming to the iPad Air that would have given it a major upgrade in the display department. But that supposedly has now been cancelled, and so what's left with the iPad Air 5 are pretty minor updates that we've already seen with the iPad range. So those include center stage on the front, since of course the iPad Air 4 is now the only iPad that does not have this feature, so I'm pretty sure we're going to see this with the next iPad Air 5. Oh, and also alongside the center stage camera on the front, we should see a flash on the back, much like the iPad mini 6. As for other upgrades, expect the 5G we see on the iPad mini 6, and also maybe the new colours, so that's purple, starlight, space grey, and pink. We should also see the A15 chip in this iPad Air 5, much like we saw with the iPad mini 6. Now there have also been rumours regarding dual cameras coming to the iPad Air 5, and also quad speakers. So yeah, again, pretty minor updates. It's basically an update that brings the iPad Air more in line with the other iPads in the range. Now as for the release, it should be March/April 2022. Now this could be featured at an event, or of course, since it's a pretty minor update, Apple could also launch it via a press release. And the pricing and storage configurations should be the same as it is right now. Now let's move on to the most exciting iPad update, and that of course is the new iPad Pro. So the iPad Pro could be seeing some pretty massive improvements in 2022, and that begins with a glass back. Now yes, I know a glass back sounds pretty stupid, but this could enable MagSafe and also reverse wireless charging on the iPad. Now this I'm pretty hyped about, because this turns your iPad into a portable power bank, since of course you'll be able to charge devices on the back of this iPad on the go. And yes, I'm aware this won't be very fast, but I think in a pinch, this could be a very handy feature to charge, for example, your AirPods or your iPhone, and so yes, I'm pretty excited about this feature. Now as for other upgrades, we've heard about titanium coming to the sides, replacing the aluminium we see on the current models, and this, to be honest, I'm not too sure about because yes, it makes the iPad a lot more premium feeling, but of course, it's also going to make this iPad extremely heavy, so I would not be surprised if we don't see this happen. Now as for other upgrades, we should see mini LED on the smaller size. This I'm pretty happy to hear about because I do prefer the 11-inch, but was a little gutted we did not see the fancy mini LED tech on the smaller size this year, so that should be fixed with the next iPad Pros. And of course we should see a newer chip, and that of course is going to be the M2. Now this is going to be very similar to the M1, so 4 power cores, 4 efficiency cores, but those cores are going to be A15 cores, which are slightly faster than the A14 cores in the M1 chip. We should also now see 10 GPU cores instead of the 8 we find in the M1. So yeah, pretty nice improvements, but of course I'm still hoping Apple gives us actual software to take advantage of all this power, because there's no point having the M2 chip if we don't get Pro apps on the iPad. Now price wise, I do see the 11-inch going up by $100 since every Apple product that's gained mini LED has increased in price, and so yes, do expect $899 to be the new price of the 11-inch. As for the release, there's been some confusion regarding this because we've had a report from Mark Gurman suggesting a spring release, which of course was when we saw the M1 iPad Pro. There are 2 issues with this though, because apart from the 2021 iPad Pros, every iPad has only been released 18 months after the old model, so that should mean an October/November release for this new iPad Pro. But the second issue is of course Apple would not launch the M2 chip in an iPad first. That makes no sense, and so ideally Apple wants to launch the M2 with a Mac. The thing is, the MacBook Air is scheduled to release in mid-2022, so that should be a WWDC release, and so the iPad Pro has to release after that June timeframe. And so yes, do not be surprised if we do see an October/November release for these new iPads. Anyways, that's about it regarding Apple's 2022 iPad lineup, but tell me in the comments below guys, which iPad release are you looking forward to? Anyways, thank you for watching guys, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours. Check out the video in the card above on details regarding AirPods Pro 2, and on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya peeps!